Hello and welcome to my channel. For those of y'all who don't know me, I am a personal trainer and yoga instructor, and I come on here to talk about clothing hauls and reviews. If y'all enjoy these types of videos, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so that y'all won't miss any of my videos in the future. For the new friends, I am not sponsored by any of these brands that I talk about on my channel, and I just wanted to be that internet bestie for y'all and talk about my opinions as a personal trainer and also as a consumer, because everything is coming out of pocket for me. So I thought I'd like to share my opinions, and today's video is going to be all about a comparison of 3 different types of flare leggings from 3 different brands. And if y'all like these types of comparison videos, I will do more of them in the future. I am actually working on a sweatpants comparison video as well. So if y'all are interested in these types of videos, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. And without further ado, we're gonna get right into it. So for today's video, I'm gonna be talking about Alphalete's Aura Flare pants, leggings, and we're also gonna be talking about Lululemon's I think it's called the mini flare leggings, flare pant leggings. Lululemon mini flare pants. And then also the Buffbunny Foxy flare leggings. So starting off with price point. So Alphalete's flare pants is actually the cheapest of them all. When I say cheapest, they're still pretty expensive. They're not by means cheap, but comparing these 3, the Alphalete is definitely gonna be winning in the price point. Alphalete's leggings are $70, and that's without the tax, and the Buffbunny comes in next. It's around $74, $75 without tax. And then Lululemon, if y'all can find a really good sale, y'all can definitely find these for like $80, maybe $70. Typically, these are $118, depending on the color and which collection y'all get it from. But I consider these the most expensive. Also, please keep in mind that when I talk about the lengths and things like that and the style, they are slightly different. For example, the Lululemon ones are going to be a little bit different because these are the mini flares, not a full flare, versus the Buffbunny are gonna be full flare leggings, so it has a little bit more of a width to it here, as well as the Alphalete tall flares. They have a little bit more width to it, and I would say the Alphalete and the Buffbunny is definitely going to be very comparable in terms of the width, and then the Lululemon mini flares are a little bit narrower compared to these 2. I do have to mention that some of these sizes are a little bit different. I am a true to size medium, and I have linked my measurements down below in the description if y'all are interested in how these fit on my body type. The Alphalete is gonna be in a size small, the Buffbunny is gonna be in a size medium, and the Lululemon is gonna be in a size 6, which I consider a size medium. Going into the widths, the Alphalete and the Buffbunny flares up close are gonna be very similar. In terms of the width, I will say that Buffbunny actually has a little bit more of a width here. It could be also due to the fact that this is a small in the front for Alphalete and this is a medium for Buffbunny. But as y'all can see, very, very similar here. And then now we're gonna go ahead and line it up with the Lululemon, and the Lululemon mini flares, lining it all up here, is gonna be the shortest. Even though it is a slight difference, it's almost comparable to the Alphalete length here. In the Lululemon size 6, it is definitely gonna be the shorter of the 3 because it is the mini flares, I'm assuming. So that's the comparison between the widths here. So next, speaking about fabric, all 3 of these flare pants have in common nylon. Of course, the percentages can be a little bit different and the composition is a little bit different for other than the nylon, but have in common nylon. So speaking about the Lululemon fabric, this is gonna be a 81% nylon with a 19% Lycra elastane. And this one is just super, super buttery, soft, and smooth. Actually, all of them are pretty buttery, soft, and smooth, but the compositions are slightly different. And the next one is Buffbunny, and Buffbunny's composition here is going to be 74% nylon and 26% spandex. So a little bit less in the nylon here, but regardless of the composition change, still buttery soft and smooth. But comparing the two, I kind of do feel like the Lululemon fabric is a tiny bit more smooth and buttery, but this one I would say, touching the two side by side, I will say that this Lululemon material feels a little bit cooling, and this Buffbunny material composition feels a lot more warming in terms of how thick the fabric feels to touch and wear. And finally, we have Alphalete's composition here of the fabric is going to be a 75% nylon to a 25% elastane. This last one is still gonna be very, very soft. I will describe this fabric a little bit differently. It is similar to the Buffbunny kind of warming fabric. It's a little bit thicker. It feels a lot more warmer to the touch and feel when you wear it. I do feel that this material is a little bit more pillable. What I mean by that is that I've washed these already once, at least once, and I've already kind of noticed a little bit of kind of a deterioration of the fabric in the Alphalete ones. It might be kind of hard to see on the camera here, but let's see if the camera can pick it up here. But the material is slightly wearing out. I do feel like in a couple washes, this material is definitely gonna start to have some aging signs. Already I kind of feel a little bit, there are some wear and tear just after one wash. But again, it's a little bit too early to speak about this because I only own these flares for a couple weeks, or in the Lululemon, I bought it I think in December, and the Buffbunny I purchased back in November or October, I believe. So I've only had it for a couple months regardless, and the Alphalete ones are the newest one in my collection here for flares. But it's a little bit too early to tell, but just looking at the fabrics, I don't notice them as much in the other fabrics. Like Lululemon, I don't notice any kind of deterioration of the fabric. Everything looks pretty solid. Obviously, there might be some lint looking at it up close, but honestly, I don't really see any kind of deterioration in here after a couple washes. And the Buffbunny, I literally just washed it yesterday, so this is after yesterday and a couple washes before. I definitely do feel like the Buffbunny is holding up a lot better. It is kind of similar to the fabric, don't mind the lint here, it is a little bit similar to the fabric of the Alphalete, where I do kind of notice a little bit of an aging signs, or right here, if y'all can see this one. It's still really, really sturdy after I've washed it about 7 times, comparing it to the Alphalete ones, which I only washed once so far. So I definitely feel like there is a comparison in terms of the wear and tear, but again, it is a little too early to tell. But just after a few washes, I just wanted to highlight that real quick because that is also very, very important, the longevity of the fabric. And next, I do want to highlight a little bit more of the features of each one. So Lululemon, what I really love about this one that's very unique to Lululemon is going to be this little inner pocket situation. Obviously, if y'all don't really store a lot of stuff in y'all's pockets, it's not really gonna matter. I do love there is an option though to kind of have a little bit more of some fabric storage situation. Otherwise, it's just Lululemon. Y'all can never really go wrong with Lululemon. It is very expensive. So again, this is not something I purchase on a daily basis, but comparing it to the other ones, I definitely feel like I gravitate more to this one because the material is just really, really silky soft. It's very durable, and I just really love the mini flares. Yes, I do love full length flares, or full width flares. But after a couple weeks, I've owned all 3. I've definitely started to notice that I lean towards more of my Lululemons, even though these 2 flare pants are great. I don't know, there's something about Lululemon that I can't really describe. It's just a different feeling. So definitely worth investing in this piece if y'all are looking for a new flare pants. But the colors, they have so many different colors. I chose this one because I love purple. My favorite color is purple, and I haven't owned anything like a deep purple color. For Buffbunny, this is the Journey brown color. I love neutrals, so I definitely snagged a Journey brown color for Buffbunny, and I have definitely been able to pair it with a lot of different styles and outfits and tops. So I've been really loving this one as well. The Alphalete flares are going to be in the smoke color. This specific color is definitely a lot more tricky in terms of sweat wicking. So if y'all wear these to the gym or a hawk or a walk or wherever y'all go, and y'all sweat, this material or this color is definitely a lot more easier to see these sweat marks. If y'all don't like the idea of feeling like y'all are gonna see sweat marks in public and y'all are doing a run or something, I wouldn't necessarily go for this color. I chose this color because I wanted to wear it for like Pilates, yoga, something a little bit more less strenuous. So that's why I chose this one. If y'all don't really care about sweat marks and lines, honestly, it doesn't really matter, but just wanted to highlight that compared to the other colors because these two colors are really, really good with sweat. They don't really show in the fabric and the color, but definitely this one is a little bit more lighter, so have to be a little bit more careful. In terms of waistband, I'm gonna go ahead and line it up here, but again, these three pants are slightly different in sizing, so it's gonna be not 100% accurate, but I will compare the waistbands next. And in terms of waistband, all of them are considered to be high-waisted. And so y'all can see, obviously with the sizing, the waistband is gonna be a little bit different in terms of how they are in the width as well. And in terms of the height, I will say they are pretty equal, but I will say looking at it from below, the Lululemon ones are definitely gonna be the shortest length, followed by the Buffbunny, and of course Alphaletes, the tall Alphalete flare pants are gonna be the longest of the three here. In terms of waistband, they're all really, really comfortable. I will say the most compressive fit for my body type is gonna be the Alphalete, obviously because it is a size small, a size down from my true to size. But I will say the Buffbunny and Lululemon also are pretty compressive. But if I had to choose out of the three, definitely sizing down is gonna give y'all a more compressive fit for obvious reasons. But if I had to compare Buffbunny and Lululemon, I would definitely say that the Buffbunny is a little bit more compressive than the Lululemon. Although they come very, very close. If I really had to choose for compression, it would be the Buffbunny versus the Lululemon. And comparing the back, so all of them do a really good job in terms of making y'all's glutes pop and looking amazing. All of them have a very similar feature where the front side, there's really nothing going on. The back, there is a lot more of a deep V contouring here. What I do love about Alphalete that's a little bit different than the other ones is that they do have a little bit more of a compressive idea, like a tapered waist kind of illusion, so that y'all can see that y'all's waist will pop when wearing them. So they have a little bit of a seam here, so it gives y'all an illusion of a snatched waist, and on the sides as well, it gives y'all an illusion of like a snatched compressive contour fit versus just a traditional flare. So that is a key thing to highlight from Alphalete, which I really, really do love. And in terms of Buffbunny, they do a really good job in the back. They do have the seam here, a couple seams to really, really highlight those glutes. I definitely feel comparing it to the Alphaletes, obviously they're very, very similar, but it's a little bit different in terms of the approach of how the contour works and how they make y'all's glutes pop, but very, very similar in terms of the deep V. And in the front, again, same idea, not really much going on in the front. And Lululemon is a little bit different in the back. They do still have a little bit of a V situation here, but if y'all really, really look close, it's not as deep as the ones from Lululemon or Alphalete. It's a little bit different here. And the front also has a little bit more of a detailing and seam in the front side. So it's a little bit different comparing the two, or comparing three from this one, but regardless, they still make y'all's glutes flattering, and I guess it just comes down to preference. So now that we've taken a deep dive into the close-ups of these 3 pieces, let's go ahead and do the squat test. So for the sake of today's video, I did not wear a seamless undie so that y'all can see potentially seamlessness, sheerness, all that jazz. So I did go ahead and wear a darker colored non-seamless undie, just FYI, to talk about the squat test. First one I have on is going to be the Lululemon mini flares, and as y'all can see, when y'all wear it, the mini flares are really, really cute. These ones are not traditional flare pants where they're super, super wide, so I really like them personally because it's like a little bit of an accessory, but she's also kind of more of a leggings type. So I love that kind of idea, so I really love this one a lot. It's probably my favorite one out of the 3, although all 3 are really, really great. I will say the glutes still look really, really nice, but again, as I was talking about earlier, there is not a super, super deep V, so comparing it, I do feel like this one is less contoured compared to the other 2, but regardless, still looks really, really nice and very, very comfortable. And in terms of the length, it hits right about my heels here, so it's a perfect length, and I'm again 5'6", and it's just a perfect length for me. So the next one is Buffbunny, and for Buffbunny, as y'all can see, definitely a little bit wider than the Lululemon. Full flare on this one, and the length is pretty much the same. It hits my ankles, but I do feel like maybe it's about ½ an inch longer than the Lululemon flares, but regardless, still really, really comfortable and feels buttery soft. And last but not least, these are the Alphalete tall flare pants on my body type. Definitely really, really love the color, and it is in fact the matching set for this bra here. With the sizing down, definitely gives y'all a little bit more of a contour snatch effect. So if y'all like that feeling, definitely recommend these in a size down. And in terms of the height, very, very similar to the Buffbunny length, and the width is a little bit smaller than the Buffbunnies, but still really, really cute. And I consider this a true flare pants. Super cute and comfortable. Perfect for yoga. Alright, well that is it for this video today. If y'all enjoyed this video, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see y'all in my next one. Have a great day, y'all.